Hello. This is a little refresher course on the T-TESS appraisal cycle requirements, deadlines, all that good stuff um, for the Northeast Alternative Center. We wanted to let you know that the appraisal calendar is located or linked in the NEAC network. It is also in the SMORE, so you have access to that. And these slides will be linked in our August PD folder, and you have a live link to the folder when you click on these slides. To start off today, we're going to go over the appraisal cycles, the T-TESS components, the beginning, middle, and end of the year appraisal timelines, and a little bit of information about the virtual observations that are going to be occurring, as well as professional and student growth goal updates and reminders about some things in Strive. This year we were supposed to start with everybody being like at 0, and half the staff is going to need to be on a full evaluation cycle, and the other half can be on the exception this year, and we'll get the full next year. On this campus, we have 31 teachers, so that means in order to meet a minimum of 50%, we're going to have 16 of you be on the full observation cycle this year. And if you are going to be on the exception, you should get an email from your appraiser saying to please fill out the agreeing to the exception cycle. Of course, if you're offered the exception and you'd rather have a full, just talk to your appraiser. The criteria for selecting these people, basically we just kind of had to start from scratch. Pretty much everybody met the criteria for either or, so we just kind of looked on, we went ahead and looked at what you had last year, and then we had to pick up a couple of extra. So just know we were told we had to have at least 50%. The less than annual, same kind of information. Late hire information doesn't really apply to any of you because you're all here already. Here are the T-TESS components. This document is also linked in the NEAC network for you to have access to, and of course you'll have these slides. But we wanted to just make sure that you kind of know about all of these different pieces. And here's kind of the timeline. At the beginning of the year, we can start doing our walkthroughs. Of course, they would be virtual walkthroughs in the first 3 weeks of school on August 17th. If you are a new teacher, then we will make sure that we have one done within the first 30 days of employment. So we are going to be sending out like a Google form for you guys to start putting your Zoom links or your Google Meet links or all those good things so that we are able to drop into your classes for the observations. We can begin formal observations on August 31st. If you are going to be on the exception, you do need to have that form returned to your, or electronically signed and returned to your T-TESS supervisor by September 4th. And for everybody, goal setting, if you didn't already finish that in the spring, your goals are going to be due on September 25th, no later than September 25th. The middle of the year meetings, we'll be having those in January, February. Again, late hire stuff doesn't really apply to any of y'all. And the formal observation period ends on March 31st. So depending on whether we have in person or we continue virtually, we may be doing even the formal observations in a virtual setting. We'll start our end of year conferences in April, and we will finish those prior to May the 6th. So given the increase in virtual classrooms, this is important, and requests from districts statewide, the TEA is developing an aligned T-TESS rubric, which isolates relevant high leverage practices in virtual instruction study. This streamlined rubric will address the planning, instruction, and learning environment domains, including all current T-TESS dimensions within these domains. The rubric communicates best practices for virtual instruction and allows for focused observations and feedback with virtual instruction teachers. So our district is anticipating that this resource will be available in late August. As soon as we have that information, we will share that with you. In the meantime, y'all, just practice best practices. If you have questions, please reach out. We are trying to model some things for you that you could be using throughout this week in our trainings as well. So reach out to us, reach out to Sue Carlson, our ITS, our instructional technology specialist, and we have lots of resources in this district. So don't be afraid to try something new, okay? This school year, we can use our virtual, use our observations in a virtual setting, or conduct our observations in a virtual setting, and we can do them at any time during the day or any day during the school year. We do have to have a minimum of 1 observation completed on every teacher, regardless of the appraisal system or the appraisal method that they're on, and we will make sure that those observations feedback in Strive are going to be visible to you within 10 days. During the end of year conference, progress towards your 1920 goals were discussed, and one of the following options were determined. Goal was not completed and resubmitted for this school year, or you're going to completely create a new goal because you did complete your goal, or you haven't made one yet because you're a new teacher. So we're just going to decide what we need to do. You can edit your approved goal by selecting reopen and then click edit approved goal and change targeted completion date and then submit for approval. If you did complete something last year and you didn't mark it as complete, make sure you go ahead and mark it as complete. If you already did that, then HR should have already archived that for you. These are a couple of videos on basically using the Strive features. They've created a couple of videos to show you how to mark a goal complete or to edit your goal for this year. And then you don't really need to be a appraiser view, but I want to leave that in there because this is also a resource for us as well. Professional and student growth goal setting process overview. Any goals that were marked as complete should have been archived. If you didn't mark your goal as complete and it's still lingering, you're going to have to follow the instructions on one of those videos to archive it yourself so you're out of review. When goals are archived, they may still remain in your evaluations tab. You can easily remove them by clicking on the remove button to the right of each goal listed, and there's this great graphic there. Remove the goal from the evaluations tab does not delete the item, it just kind of makes it not be on that tab so you're not looking at it. And then here's some more things about how to add evidence for your goals. Throughout the year we'll say upload evidence. Some of y'all will say, how do I do that? There's like a little step-by-step with some graphics. And then if you're experiencing, because Strive is an online resource, common issues, make sure your Wi-Fi is connected or that your hardwired connection is plugged in properly. If you experience a blank screen or an error message when signing off, it may be because you clicked enter. That happens to me sometimes. And then I have to go back in and redo it. So just, go back in and redo it. If you ever forget your signature response or have trouble signing in electronically, you can log in and access your profile and change your question. Really, you're going to have to do that yourself, though, because I think if you call the help desk, they're just going to kind of talk you through how to do it yourself. Because help desk and HR can't do it for you. The person in charge of evaluations for our district is the Director of New Talent and Evaluations, America Gonzalez-Rosas. Here's her email and her phone number if you ever had any questions that you needed help with. If you have any other questions that you think that we could answer for you, we are happy to do that. Just let us know what you got. and we will do our best to get answers for you. Thank you guys. Hope you have a great day.